And since this is all about mindsets, how important is this? How important is it to make sure this mindset goes down to the next generation? What has your messaging been to your son as far as sharing responsibilities and equality of a relationship is concerned?
I think we have all known this fact that if you set an example, if you are an example, or if there is somebody else who is an example, you're right there to learn from that person. So instead of making statements or saying things, if you actually do it, and if you're actually showing it to your children from when they're very, very small, it will come naturally to them when they grow up. But if you tell them in sentences that, look, you're supposed to share the load, I think it would be less effective. So I presume it's more to do with the atmosphere at home, and for men and women both to say that this family is our responsibility together, so let's share everything possible, which will make it easier for children to learn and follow it when they grow up as adults.
That's right. That's where the mindset comes from, isn't it, Dr. Shah? That you, and that's where these negative mindsets also come from. When sons see their parents in an unequal relationship, that's how they think it's okay to have a similar kind of relationship when they grow up. But it works positively too as well.
Actually, the ad that the AV that I saw actually talks about that, It's not making a statement by saying, look, this is what you have to do. But it's telling you exactly that this is what you should be doing in such a quiet way. And I think that's more effective. I mean, when I saw it, I cried because it was very effective. And if he had said, you should do it like that, I don't think I would have accepted it. And today's child would definitely not have accepted it,
Okay, everybody's talking about the ad. We're going to leave it for a little bit later, but I think we should play the ad out right now. It was launched just 15 days ago, 15th of February, I think, or somewhere there. And it's already got close to 26 million views. I think it has resonated with everybody. People have come out and started sharing their own stories. These are all reactions to the film. And when all of you get a chance after the proceedings on stage are over, please do take a look at them, these reactions. It's resonated well with people, and people have connected to it. So I'm sure all of you have seen it, but we're going to give you a chance to maybe get your eyes moist once again. So ladies and gentlemen, can we quickly have the film and we can talk about it right after. Sitting over here on the ad.
Very nice. Very nice.
Shimit, the director, one of my favorite directors. Ariel, and PNG, everybody who's connected and contributed to making this film. Really, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it makes you choke up. It's so beautifiji made. Pankaj ji, your thoughts from a father's perspective?
As I said, the best thing about the film is that it's not sloganizing. It's setting an example, which is what we talked about a while ago, that if somebody, in this case, it's an old man who realizes that he has not done it all his life and is ready to make that change, which is so, so wonderful. Because if an old man who a lot of people look up to, especially the family, if he decides to change his mind and sort of shows that this is a realization that has happened to him, it's a most wonderful way of communicating what you want to communicate to your people. And therefore it comes so easily for the younger generation to learn from the older. And if the older decides to improve upon themselves, even though they are old, it is such a wonderful way of communicating this to
saying it's
the
never
youngsters.
too late to change.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I also, another thing that I really felt was that, even the girl, she's not feeling very sad for herself.
She's not feeling sorry for herself
at
all. That's
and
all in a day's work for her.
She's doing it as a job, and that's great because that's what I think women do.
And that's what she's conditioned to.
And also, it's somewhere nobody's wrong. Even the boy, the husband. That's what he's always done.
He's grown up seeing that in his own family.
So
yes.
That's what I think the beauty of the film is, that nobody is shown as you've made the mistake, but you still realize the mistake you've made.
Message from the media, changing mindsets.
Absolutely.
This is how we can change mindsets.
It's really so reflective, and that's the beauty, So it allows you that process of reflection to do, and that's I agree with everybody that it's, this kind of sloganeering instead of that kind of reflective thing. And, you could see the mother's expression when suddenly she sees her husband. Women are not ready for the change. And I think it's time for us to also be ready. Because even if sometimes men come to help, men come to share the load, we are hesitant because it will be seen as one, that you are not good enough. And I think that also is a kind of very, very subtly brought into it. And I think that's also something that we need to bring in.
I think that's really well said. That's really well said. Because somebody like me at times has experienced this. And even today, sometimes I do experience this because it comes naturally to Supriya to say that these are my responsibilities. But supposing on a day she's shooting and I say I'll look after the house, she's still calling up. And I actually get angry about that. And I say, when I said I'll look after it, why don't you let me do it? So it's a mindset which needs to change on both the sides. More on the side of the male, but also on the side of the woman.
But the way people have reacted to it, and it's resonated so well with so many people, I think we're ready for change. Don't you think we're ready for that change? We're ripe and ready. And
yeah, I think what we're talking about is also the metropolises where we are ready, maybe. In the interiors, as she's saying, we really need to bring about that change. And a lot of work has to be done to make the women realize that, look, it's not your incompetence, but it's a necessity that, you need to have somebody share the load. So that, I think, is a message that we really need to penetrate still more into India itself.
Now, Ariel conducted a survey a little while ago, and that has some messages for us too. Some men and children were interviewed and asked, what would you like to say?
And it's all about still being able to penetrate in
mindset change. So definitely starting from home, setting examples as what is mentioned in the film, but it needs to go beyond to say what's happening in school, playgrounds. Do women get access to playgrounds, or they are put into a C1 class or something like that? So every step of this division of labor that gets reinforced, we need to challenge. And that is what we are hoping to do along with this campaign is over. I think for us, because we've been working on this for last many years, and I'm sure that Ariel is also going to continue this process. It's not going to be over with one ad or a campaign. How do we take this process forward and really be part of the movement for change? And that's what we want to do post the campaign.
Very quickly, don't you find there would be some sort of we're ripe and ready for commercials like this, messaging like this, but yet this is how we think.
I think it all comes down to conditioning.
Yes.
And it's not just years, but like millions and millions of years of conditioning. I think it's just reflective of that. How that's going to change and what we need to do to change that. It's going to be a really long process.
It's the first step in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, and even a small step is welcome in this direction.
Yes.
Especially because if we take it on a micro level of a couple, I think a man and a woman, when they come together and they decide to spend their lives together, they are agreeing to sharing each other's lives, not just living with each other and being spectators of each other's lives, but sharing everything that comes with the other person's life also. So they actually become one in that manner.
Okay, how many dads do we have here? Please put husbands, dads. I'm not going to call you on stage. Just I want to see. Nobody? Like seriously?